I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you don't hook people within 3 seconds of your video, I already know it's gonna do badly. Luckily for us, there's tons of examples of amazing hooks that you can use in your short form or long form videos. So I'm gonna show you how you can save hooks on any platform you'd like. We're gonna be showing this with TikTok, and then show you how to use Claude Code to turn those hooks into more hook ideas for your own content, or create a database of great hooks to try and imitate. The steps we'll be covering today is going from a collection on a platform like TikTok, where you basically scroll and save any hook that you like. We're then going to use Claude Code to write a script to download all of these videos and analyze things like the transcript to find the first spoken sentence, as well as the visual hook that's on screen. And we're gonna save that to Obsidian in our hook database. And as a last step, we're gonna ask Claude Code to come up with hook ideas for our own content. So I'm gonna show you how you can update Claude's context to know what your job is, your product, your messaging, etc. that you use in your content. So let's dive in. For this tutorial, there's a few things that you need to have set up. Number one is Claude Code running on your machine that you can access through your terminal, as well as the Obsidian MCP, basically allowing Claude to connect to Obsidian or any other tool. We can also create a file in Google Sheets if you'd prefer, but anywhere that you'd like to save this database is what you're gonna have to connect to Claude. So this can be Notion, Obsidian, Google Sheets, whatever you'd like. I'm gonna go with Obsidian because it uses markdown files, which makes everything a bit easier to work in through Claude. And the last thing you're gonna need is the Claude for Chrome extension. So make sure that you set up the Claude extension on Chrome so that it can actually visit your TikTok account and go to your collections. Okay, so let's call Claude in our terminal, and we're gonna go ahead and get started. Our first step is we're gonna open Chrome and we're gonna go to TikTok and find our collection. So your collections are in here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and take the hooks collection. Let me grab that link so we can tell Claude where to go. So go to my TikTok hooks collection. And then we're gonna tell it where to store those videos. So we're gonna say, so we're saying create a folder called TikTok hooks vids or videos in our home directory. So let's go ahead and do that. So here we can see it's actually opening up Chrome and it's going to this page. So it's kind of impersonating our browser behavior and going to start downloading these videos. All right, so it's basically saying what the script is gonna do. It's gonna download 5 videos and it's gonna save this to this folder that we created in our home directory, and we can just say run it's the script. So it says that it downloaded 5 TikTok videos successfully, and we're actually gonna go see in our home directory if that's true. Okay, so let's open our home directory in Finder basically and open that here. So here we go. We have 5 of these videos that we saved as hooks. Okay, for some reason it decided to download the wrong videos, so we're gonna give it the link again and see if it does a better job. Okay, so recap, the script did a good job. It actually downloaded videos from TikTok in seconds, but it didn't go to my specific hooks collection for some reason. If this happens, just give it the link to your collection again and tell it to only download videos there. Do you like my little mic on scarf setup? I hope this does okay. Cool, so it's actually deleting the wrongly downloaded videos, which is cool. Okay, and we're just gonna give it permission again. You can switch between these commands using your up and down arrow, by the way. Cool, so let's see if it did a better job. Let's go to my home there and let's open these videos. As you can tell here from these little thumbnails, you can see this one matches that, this one matches that, this one matches that, etc. So this is kind of crazy that within a matter of seconds, we can just download videos from TikTok that we'd like to analyze using Claude Code. So that's what we're gonna do now. I'll just show you and prove that this is the first video. This is the first video that corresponds to this one. So let's head back to Claude and we're gonna tell it to create our database. So you can personalize your database to whatever you'd like to extract from this video, but just know that the possibilities are using Whisper to analyze the transcript, so what's being said, and using a tool called FFmpeg to look at the actual frames and describe what's being done in the video. Start, I'm going to create a database with 3 columns. Number 1 is going to be the spoken hooks. It's the first 1 or 2 sentences that Claude is going to extract from the transcript, so this whatever they're saying in the video. The second thing I want is the text hook, so whatever's showing on screen. And then the third thing is that I want the link to the original video, so I can always go and watch it back for inspiration. So let's head over to Claude Code, and we're gonna say, create a database in Obsidian. That's where I keep my files. You can do this in Notion as long as you've set up Claude Code to connect to Notion's MCP. Call it tutorial. I'm gonna say call it hooks database tutorial because I'm doing a tutorial and I think I already have the database called that there. Create 3 columns. Okay, so I've described this very quickly now, but my 3 columns are the spoken hook. I'm gonna say 2 sentences, 1 or 2 sentences, because otherwise it keeps it too short. The text hook, and then the link to the original TikTok for inspiration. So let's go ahead and say which tools it needs to use to actually extract this information. Use Whisper to extract, analyze the transcript, and use FFmpeg to analyze the first few frames of the video. So here we're just saying use these 2 tools that I've described. Let's see how good of a job it does. Cool, so it's saying that it's running Whisper and FFmpeg in parallel. So these are tools that you do need to set up once before this tutorial, but that's pretty easy to do directly in Claude Code. So just say that you want to install FFmpeg and Whisper. Whisper, which is basically the transcription tool by OpenAI that looks at the transcript and sees what's being said, is having a hard time doing this quickly. So we're going to tell it to do this using a smaller model. So here, if it's being slow, which it wasn't for me yesterday, we can run all videos in parallel, excuse my misspelling, use a smaller model, and then only analyze the first 10 seconds, right? Because we don't want the entire video. Okay, so here we can see that it has worked and it has really quickly created this database in Obsidian. So my intention is to build this into an agent, maybe an OpenClaw agent, and it just runs in the background, kind of checks all of the videos that I've saved and then extracts all the hooks, so I don't need to sit here and wait for it to happen. I'll show you my old database just because that's the one I'm happiest with. So if you did it in these steps, you should have 3 columns, not 4, but I'm going to show you the 4th one that we're going to work on now. So we have our spoken hook, our visual hook, and then I've added a concept as well as the link to the video. So the first one is you want to know the truth. The second one is, I know this is controversial, but respectfully. So here's another one. Here's 5 things that magnetic secure women do differently in the early stages of dating. Well, there you have it. That's my TikTok algorithm for me. But I do think that this is a great hook. I think it speaks to what someone would want to become, and then 5 things that they do that make them become that or make them different. So I think that content-wise, this is a great hook. Right, and as I promised, I also created a 4th column. I think this is really fun. If you give Claude enough context about what you do for work, what your content is about, then it can actually apply these hooks for video ideas. So in my case, it took that, here's 5 things that magnetic secure women do, and then it says, here are 5 things founders grow using video do differently from those who don't. I can already see a piece of content that I would use for Tella, for instance, to say, well, these are founders that are growing with video, and here are 5 things that they're doing correctly. I think that is a pretty good hook. Another one is, I know this is controversial, but respectfully. And then I would say, I know this is controversial, but respectfully, spending 3 hours editing one video is not a content strategy, it's a hobby. I think that that's a pretty spicy take when it comes to video. Now, what's good to know is that you need to give your Claude.md, so your markdown file where all of your Claude memory lives, you do need to give it enough context as to your way of messaging, as well as your job, your worldview. So here are a few things that I gave Claude MD to know what I talk about at Tella and what my convictions are when it comes to marketing, AI, using video in marketing. The first thing I gave it is this messaging guideline document that we actually share with our partners as well. It contains our worldview, it contains Tella's benefits, main features, etc. You can also give it your actual product's website. You can give it a collection of all of your written subtag posts, your video, YouTube video transcript, maybe even transcripts of sessions. I recommend creating a folder in your home directory where you can save whatever you want, like transcripts, etc. And then you can actually feed that to Claude whenever you'd like. So here we see my Claude MD has a bunch of context. I also told it how to speak to me. It actually contains, as you can see, who tell us for, our customer pains, etc. So that's something you want to do before you add the fourth column. Add this context. I'm going to grab the link to this doc and then here, and then you could actually tell it to add that. So it's already added it for me. So this is a great way to make sure that the hook ideas applied to your work or your topic of choice are actually pertinent. I did a few tries, and when I didn't update my Claude.md, I noticed that the hooks were like not really applicable to Tella in a meaningful way. Just as we created the database, you would just say create a new column that contains ideas for how to use. Cool, so it says that it actually came up with a bunch of these concepts. Let's see if it did. All right, so let's take an example here, and it came up with a similar hook based on the worldview that I have at Tella, which is that you as a marketer don't want to be spending hours editing videos, and that's why we came up with Tella, is that you don't need to spend hours. So it says here, I know this is controversial, but respectfully, one of the least marketing things you can do is spend 6 hours editing a video that gets 30 views. So here I would probably do a variation of this, but I like the hook of saying, I know this is controversial, and it kind of reminds people that there's nothing productive about editing a video for 6 hours if it's only going to get 30 views. I think in conclusion, we've gone over how to actually go from saving videos that you like and that inspire you in your TikTok collections, and then using Claude's Chrome extension to extract those videos, download them to your home there, and then use two tools to analyze either the frames, the first few second frames, as well as the transcripts for the first few seconds, and then extract those hook ideas. So if you were to build this into an agent, you could actually run this in the background and do this as a chronological job just once a day, and it would just constantly update your database with new hook ideas. So you wouldn't even have to go through the trouble of making it come up with ideas for your content. If you were to do that, the important thing is just to make sure that you give it enough of your worldview, perspective, etc., because it is going to use that to apply the hook, and if your take is kind of mid, then the hook's not going to hit either. Be sure to subscribe if you want more videos on how I automate where I work as a video marketer, content marketer. I'm on here, I'm on LinkedIn, and I'll see you very soon for more videos.